Before we get into this video, comment your upset of the week down in the comments. We got absolutely fleeced last week, ladies and gentlemen. I'm talking 6-8 on the week. Absolute B to A, belt to ass. We are 85-48 on the year. Pretty decent record. We have our week 10 locks and shocks. Comment your lock and your upset down in the comments. In this video, we are going to have our game of the week, our toilet bowl game of the week, our lock, and our upset as we predict every matchup for week 10, starting with, you know how it is, Thursday night football. The Las Vegas Raiders, who just traded one of their best wide receivers on the team seamlessly. The team is absolutely awful. Geno Smith is not performing to the level we thought he was going to. The team under coach Pete Carroll is not looking amazing. I did say it was an odd addition to me to add Pete Carroll, being he is so old, and this team is going to move on from him eventually by the time they get a young, rejuvenated team, and they're going to all have to learn a new system again, taking on the dominant defense of the Denver Broncos in Mile High Stadium. Third best defense in the league. The offense isn't amazing. It's not terrible. I have problems with them. They can't move the ball first, second, third quarter, fourth quarter. They come alive. Bo Nix goes out there, does his thing. A lot of upside potential for this offense. I'm surprised they didn't make any moves for the offense in the by the trade deadline. Maybe add another receiver. I don't know. They need to get it rolling. The run game is immaculate. Bo Nix just needs to work on getting his guys the ball in the passing the game. That being said, they did play the best defense in the league last week, but the Denver Broncos with the third best defense, with the 13th best offense in the league. That being said, it is a Thursday night football game. It is a division game. Upsets can happen. Give me, ladies and gentlemen, the Denver Broncos by 25 points to win this game on Thursday night football division game. They absolutely own the Las Vegas Raiders. Next, we have our lock of the week, the Atlanta Falcons taking on the Indianapolis Colts. Now, the Falcons, when I was looking up their offense and defensive ratings, the defense absolutely stunned me. It shocked me, especially after they had a 30-point loss to the Carolina Panthers. The Atlanta Falcons finally getting Drake London going. I think he is a top 5 potential wide receiver in this league. The way he's catching balls in single coverage, the way he's catching the rock in single coverage, double coverage, triple coverage, the way Penix is delivering it to him, it's looking a lot more crisp. It looks like they're building a lot of rapport. You still got to get the rest of the team going. If they can get London and Bijan on the same page at the same time and the defense firing full cylinders like it's been going, the Atlanta Falcons can make me not look stupid because I had them winning 10 to 11 games when we did our record predictions, taking on the second best offense in the league, Indianapolis Colts. Best O-line in the league potentially. By far the best run game in the league. The wide receiver core is immaculate. They went and traded A.D. Mitchell, which I think is a good trade, and bolstered the defense. Not a lot of amazing cornerbacks in this league, a lot of mediocre cornerbacks. You go and you add one of the best cornerbacks in the league to a mid-level defense, it's going to propel them into the top 10. I'm telling you this right now. Watch, they are going to be a better defense, which already a really solid defense. This is going to help the Colts. If Danny Dimes can continue, I know had a bad game last week, to not turn the ball over, get the team down there to kick field goals, to score points in the run game, to pass the ball into the end zone, keep putting points on the board, keep protecting the ball. The sky is the limit for the Indianapolis Colts, who are the winners of our lock of the week. Give me Indy with the big dub over the Atlanta Falcons. Next, we have the Saints at Panthers. Surprisingly, not our toilet bowl game of the week. We have the 29th offense taking on the 13th ranked defense, and then the 18th defense taking on the 22nd ranked offense. It's a bad matchup. It could be fun. Both teams are I mean, the Saints have a really big question mark at quarterback. I hate how they're doing Spencer Rattler. I feel like he has all the talent in the world, and you're just not putting nothing around him, right? You got Chris Olave. I get that. Has not been the most consistent wide receiver in the league. You trade off Rashid Shaheed to the Seattle Seahawks. You're putting Tyler Sourdough, whatever the hell his name is, into an even worse situation. None of these guys are going to thrive, and they're just going to keep repeating that cycle in New Orleans, right? Like, we're just going to keep drafting quarterbacks until one works out. We're going to keep drafting quarterbacks and not building the team around them, right? It is a terrible rotation that we're seeing with the New Orleans Saints right now. taking on a Carolina Panthers team. Unfortunately, Rico Dowdle has picked up an injury designation. He is supposed to play this weekend. Love to see him dominating over there in Carolina, especially after the Dallas Cowboys gave up on him, right? Just let him walk. He comes over to Carolina in a worse situation, and he's out here putting absolute, say it with me, chat, belt to ass on opposing teams. I'm talking 200 yards from scrimmage over and over and over and over again. This dude is a dog. And then you have Bryce Young, who is looking better and better week in and week out on a contract year, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. It is going to be interesting to see what the Carolina Panthers do with that going forward. Is he going to demand a ridiculous amount of money from the production he's put out? Is he going to take a team-friendly deal? The way this Panthers team is building, they are trending in the right direction. I had the Carolina Panthers at home over the New Orleans Saints. Lock me in with that win. Next, we have the New York Giants taking on the Chicago Bears. The Chicago Bears, fourth best offense in the league. Absolutely mind-boggling to me. Caleb Williams is getting better as the weeks progress. He's still holding on to the ball a little bit too long, trying to make plays when plays don't need to be made. But my thing with the Ben Johnson offenses are you do your reads, you do your check downs, you throw it away if it's not there. This offense doesn't need a guy to go out there and be that playmaker. Look at what Jared Goff did last year. Beyond not a playmaking running or playmaking quarterback, they need to get the run game going. Hopefully their second string running back, who is being propelled into first string, not sure how to say his last name, correct me down in the comments, can get that run game going, and Caleb can continue to make plays and start to read the offense a little bit better. Because like I said, you don't got to be the playmaker. You just got to go out there and make the plays when they need to be made. Taking on the New York Giants, who's such a fun team to watch. Unfortunately, they lose Scatabo. Unfortunately, they lose Malik Neighbors. The spotlight on this team was getting so bright, and we love to see it. I love to see bad teams start to do good, right? Except the Detroit Lions. Hate that fan base with an absolute passion. Just kidding. It's all love. I love you all. It was fun watching Scatabo. It's fun watching my boy Wan'Dale Robinson out there absolutely cook. But that being said, the Chicago Bears are going to be taking the big dub in the big house of the New York. Actually, the Bears are at home, so they're going to be taking the big dub at home. Next, we have the Jacksonville Jaguars taking on the Houston Texans. The Houston Texans bolstering the best offense in the league, or the best defense in the league, and one of the worst offenses in the league. Taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars, who are a pretty middle of the pack team, have fallen off tremendously as the year has went on. The wide receiver core was leading the league in drops. So what did they go do? They said, oh, we're going to add Jacoby Myers, who was one of the league's leading reception receivers in the league last year, or non-dropped passes, whatever it is. He dropped 2 passes last year, something ridiculous like that. The man can catch the ball, Raiders fans. Correct me if I'm wrong. Tell me that man can't catch the ball. They add a massive pickup to the wide receiver room that is going to help Brian Thomas, that is going to help Travis Hunter when he eventually does come back, and hopefully spark a fire on this offense that was humming at the beginning of the year and thus has fell off over the last few weeks in the Houston Texans. How I talk about the Denver Broncos is exactly how I want to talk about the Texans. The defense is ridiculous. It is being wasted. It is a Super Bowl caliber defense, and the offense is absolutely terrible. You break down your O-line, right? You send your best O-lineman away to build up a new young O-line, and it is beyond the worst O-line I think we have in the league. The Bengals O-line might be better. Correct me if I'm wrong. Who has the better O-line? The Texans or the Bengals? CJ Stroud has no time to throw this ball. I know when he played my Seattle Seahawks, we quite literally pressured him on half of his dropbacks. That is a ridiculous stat in this league, ladies and gentlemen. I am leaning towards... Ooh, this is a hard one. I'm doing this on spot, ladies and gentlemen. I'm leaning towards the Houston Texans with the win. The Houston Texans getting on the board after a loss to the Denver Broncos. Next, we have the Buffalo Bills at the Miami Dolphins. We have a division game. The Buffalo Bills, first offense in the league, 12th defense in the league, taking on the bottom of the barrel Dolphins. That being said, it is a division game, ladies and gentlemen. We know how those division games go. Give me the Buffalo Bills with the win. The Miami Dolphins are just an absolute shambles. Tua looks awful. The offense looks awful. The defense looks awful. Buffalo Bills with the big Buffalo win. Eat some blue cheese for me. After that, actually, blue cheese. By the way, blue cheese is absolutely terrible. I just want to throw that out there. Throw that out there right now. If you eat blue cheese, You are not of this world. Something is wrong with you. Buffalo Bills with the big Buffalo win in Miami. Next, we have the Baltimore Ravens taking on the Minnesota Vikings. The Baltimore Ravens looking to take back over this division, and they are the team projected to win this division, even though they started, 1-4? It was absolutely ridiculous. But now, Lamarvelous Jackson back at the helm against one of the most blitzing teams in the league, the Minnesota Vikings. 26 offense, 14th defense. A lot of these rankings, though, you got to take into account. Look at the Ravens, 20th offense. Lamar Jackson has missed, 3-4 weeks of football. Look at the Vikings, 26th offense. They haven't had their starting quarterback since like week 2. There's a lot of variables that go into these rankings. I am taking, personally, Lamarvelous Jackson to continue his winning and start a winning streak and start stacking those wins in Baltimore. Give me the Baltimore Ravens with the dub over the Minnesota Vikings. Next, we have our toilet bowl game of the week, and seamlessly, I feel like the Browns just always end up in this situation. They do have the second best defense in the league. When are we going to see Shedeur Sanders? The offense isn't getting better. It's time to see the man, the myth, the legend. Perfect timing, ladies and gentlemen, to get Shedeur Sanders in that starting lineup. Rumor has it, the better red zone quarterback. And what is this team lacking? Red zone touchdowns. 30th ranked offense, second best defense, another Super Bowl caliber defense going to waste, taking on the new look New York Jets, and not the good new look New York Jets, the bad new look New York Jets. No more Quinnen Williams. No more Sauce Gardner. Breece Hall seamlessly doesn't want to be there. Garrett Wilson going to be out another week in a row. Looking like your number one. I can't even name the wide receivers over there right now. Mason Taylor starting to come full circle. Round of applause for that. Give me the Cleveland Browns with the win over the terrible new look. Oh, hit a wrong button. Over the terrible new look New York Jets. Next, we have our upset of the week, the red hot firing on all cylinders New England Patriots looking to keep stacking those wins, taking on a battered and beat up Tampa Bay Buccaneers at home. The Buccaneers are a 2.5-point favorite, but with the Patriots being absolutely red hot, led by Drake May, who is playing some of the best football among any of the quarterbacks in the league. The run game is looking solid. The wide receiver core is meshing well. Everything is going good on the offense of the New England Patriots, and the defense playing complementary football, looking better than the offense. You know how I just talked highly on that offense. The defense, stop doing what they need to do to go out here and win games. Now, the thing is, the New England Patriots are on the lower end of football, right? They've played like the Panthers, the Saints, the Titans. They've played a bunch of top 5 picks. Can it transition against a good football team who is seamlessly going to make playoffs? I think the New England Patriots come out with the win against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Next, we have the Arizona Cardinals taking on my Seattle Seahawks. 12's Nation, stand up. Can I get a 12 in the comments if you are a Seattle Seahawks fan? The 9th best offense in the league. The 11th best defense in the league. The 11th best defense, and we are finally getting healthy again. This is going to be a Super Bowl potential bound team. I love to see it. We absolutely own the Arizona Cardinals. If you're an Arizona Cardinals fan, I'm sorry. I've been telling you Kyler Murray's not the answer for years. Y'all might have more life with Jacoby Brissett than y'all did with Kyler Murray. That being said, we're going to put absolute belt to ass on Jacoby Brissett and the Arizona Cardinals. Give me my Seattle Seahawks with the big dub. Yes, we're going to call it in the big link. Don't love how we renamed our stadium. I actually hate it. Hate Lumen Field. Next, we have the LA Rams taking on the San Francisco 49ers. The Rams, one of the best teams in the league, 7th ranked offense, 10th ranked defense, taking on the 49ers, who, for a 10th ranked offense, for how battered and beat up this team is, I think Shanahan might be the best coach in the league. The way you could just plug and play anyone into any position. I'm talking from quarterback all the way to seamlessly the second hardest position to play in the league, cornerback, to the D-line, to the O-line, to the run game, to the pass game, to the wide receiver core. Just everything can be plugged and played from a different person. This person goes down, this person comes in, this person goes down, this person comes in, this person goes down. Give me the LA Rams with the big LA win at the home of the San Francisco 49ers. Next, we have the Detroit Lions taking on the Washington Commanders. Can we get a prayer out for Jaden Daniels' devastating break to his arm last week? Dislocation to the elbow, looked absolutely nasty. Marcus Mariota, no slouch, can come in and put points on the board if they can get him consistent with this offense. I think you sit Jaden Daniels out the rest of the year. I'm sure his projection to come back wouldn't be to the end of the year anyways. Let Marcus Mariota get some reps with this offense and maybe you can make something happen. The defense is absolutely abysmal. What Jahmyr Gibbs and Amon-Ra is about to do to this team. By the way, revenge game from the playoffs. The Lions might win this game 45-22. 45-22, 40-18. Something along those lines. Give me the Detroit Lions with the win. Next, we have the Pittsburgh Steelers taking on the LA Chargers. The Steelers looking absolutely awful when you look up there at the numbers, but when you look at their play, they don't look that bad. But when you look at the Chargers, what they're doing with a decimated O-line, with a decimated running back room, look absolutely ridiculous. I am rocking the LA Chargers because I have projected them to win the division the whole time. I need them to keep stacking those wins. They get Joe Alt back seamlessly and then goes down with a season-ending ankle injury. Not broke, high ankle sprain, gonna have surgery on it, hopefully come back healthy next year. This team is down bad, so these are the times they need to lock in and prevail against teams like the Pittsburgh Steelers. Give me the LA Chargers with the win at home over Pittsburgh. Next, we have our game of the week. We have the Philadelphia Eagles taking on the Green Bay Packers. The Eagles, when you look at the numbers, not looking great, but again, they can run against some of the best teams. They can pass against some of the best teams. Well, the Green Bay Packers, one of the best teams seamlessly in the league, but then they go and get popped by the Panthers. It's any given Sunday, ladies and gentlemen. The bad teams are beating the good teams. The good teams can't beat the bad teams. The bad teams beat the good teams, but they can't beat the bad teams. But the bad teams are beating the good teams, and the good teams are losing to the bad teams. Like I said, it's any given Sunday, but I'm taking the Philadelphia Eagles with the win over the Green Bay Packers. Ladies and gentlemen, this is our Week 10 picks, predictions, and upsets. I would say our locks and shocks. When you see those locks and shocks videos, just know it is Any Given Monday podcast, the best sports podcast in the game. What I need you to do is like and subscribe. It is recap time, our game of the week. We got the Eagles taking on Green Bay, our toilet bowl game of the week. The Browns taking on the Jets, our lock. The Colts over the Atlanta Falcons, and our upset, the New England Patriots over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. What I need y'all to do down in the comments, let me know your lock of the week. Let me know your shock of the week. Don't forget, like and subscribe for daily content and for daily videos. I'm talking, don't know what just happened to my camera. Probably just spit on the lens. I'm talking football, basketball, baseball, MMA, whatever you like listening to. We have it.